What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co-host Andrew. Don't get it twisted, Lapache, and this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you once more for joining us on this lovely, slightly toasty Easter Sunday. If you guys celebrated, happy Easter to everybody over there. If you don't, I hope you had at least a good Easter egg hunt. On this lovely day, it was great weather, a little windy, but holy hell, it was a perfect day to go out egg hunting if that is what you did. And it's a perfect day for fights because there's plenty of fights. As a matter of fact, there's fights going on right now, Zuffa Boxing, as we record this show. So we're going to be momentarily talking about that just because it happens to be on. But quite frankly, the important stuff we want to talk about. He's back, Bomb Squad. Well, maybe not really, but Deontay Wilder coming back with an enormous victory. Yes, it was or Derek Chisora, but hey, maybe that leads to one more big fight. And who was ringside? Anthony Joshua. We're going to be talking about that and him going over there to enemy territory in the UK and getting the job done over there. Great job by Deontay Wilder. Of course, we're going to be talking about that. There was a whole bunch of boxing this weekend. If it might have flown under the radar, Amazon Prime Video had Tszyu making his return to the ring at middleweight, although he did say he won't be staying there. But Tszyu fought in Australia. I guess it'll be last night, according, or for us at least, Pacific Standard Timers. And with a victory, we're going to be talking about that, of course, and what's next, because we're already hearing what's next. As I mentioned, there's a whole bunch of boxing. There was some boxing this morning, and then I'm saying Sunday morning with MVP's first card, the first women's card, of course, MVPW or whatever the hell he wants to call it, in the UK. That was on ESPN Plus. We're going to be briefly talking about that because there's just so much boxing to talk about. Turkey and his mini clapback at us saying, yo, don't forget about me. I must have forgot. Had to throw in a Roy Jones reference there, but he's back. I mean, I guess he never really went anywhere, but he decided to go to social media and let everybody know, yo, I haven't gone anywhere. All right, we're going to talk about that. And Mr. One, Floyd Mayweather, and his ongoing issues with this exhibition, only not really, but kind of, fight with Manny Pacquiao. We're going to be talking about that because even Oscar De La Hoya wanted to throw in his 2 cents on that as well. So we're going to be talking about that. Oh, and then just as a side note, it looks like the Usyk and Rico fight that's going to be taking place in May already has a full undercard. If we got time, we're going to go over that. But that's essentially what we have on the docket. Before we get started, as always, of course, a word from our video sponsor, Health y Sol, or Health Y Sol. Make sure to check them out. If you happen to find anything you like and you want to try it out, make sure to use the code MADBoxing10 at checkout and get 10% off of your purchase, or follow the affiliate link that's going to be in the description of this video, and you'll get the same 10% off of your purchase. Lavender patchouli specifically is the scent that I like, and I use their soap. So make sure to give them a try. Tallow-based products and soap in particulars. Health y Sol. Make sure to check them out. Do us all a favor. All right. So we're going to get started with the Bomb Squad. Deontay Wilder made quite a splash, flying over to enemy territory to take on Derek Chisora, who, quite frankly, both these guys are on the way out, right? And we figured it was going to be that kind of fight. And sure enough, it was. It was very sloppy. They hit the canvas, I don't know, maybe 6 times. Twice it counted as an actual knockdown. Chisora damn near falling out of the ring. Punches being thrown after the bell. A disqualification that the referee messed up on. We're going to be talking about that, of course. But ultimately, Wilder got a split decision victory over Derek Chisora. And after the fight, I mean, it looked like Chisora was done. I mean, we knew he was on the way out, right? I mean, he only had a few more fights left in him, but he's in the ring and he asked his wife, he's like, one more? And she's like, no. Like, yeah, I guess that's it, right? So it looks as though Chisora is officially done. Kind of sucks to go out on a loss like that. I wouldn't mind, trying one more time, at least to get a victory on the way out, but quite frankly, it probably isn't necessary at this point. He got paid handsomely with his recent fights, so I'm sure he doesn't have to return to the ring. Deontay Wilder, we kind of hoped that we would see the Deontay of old. We didn't see that. you know, they say this. It's like, which one are we gonna see? The old Deontay, as in Deontay of old, or the current Deontay who happens to be old? Because you can see it. He just didn't have that punch anymore. He didn't have the spring in his legs. He did move around a lot. It was obvious that he was headhunting. He was looking for that right hand. He was telegraphing it like a motherfucker. I really wish he would have used his jab a little more. There were a couple of times that Chisora just kind of barged in, and it looked like Deontay was just waiting to land that right hand. And if Chisora crossed that threshold too fast, he wasn't able to catch him. He already smothered him, and unfortunately, he was able to get out of the way of those punches. Now, me and my dad were watching that one because we decided to put a little money on Deontay Wilder kind of last minute, and thankfully we did, because my dad was like, you know, you never know. And I'll bring Andrew into this conversation, because even Andrew was saying this, yo, you know, Chisora's there to be hit. Andrew, number one, what did you think of Deontay Wilder's performance? And we'll get to the referee and the judges in a little bit, but we'll start off with that.
Well, I have the announcement. My wife put it on video, so I'll send that to you later. Oh. You can see the announcement live. You did get my text message about how I felt about the fight live.
For sure.
That was all for you, Miguel. I knew my boy had betted, and they were trying to take that fucking fight away from us, man. Come on now. They did. Hey, you know what? Shout out to the judges that got it right? Mm-hmm. Split decision, majority, unanimous. I really don't care as long as it gets done right. They got it right. Deontay did deserve that win. Fuck that ref, man. That ref wanted nothing to do with Deontay. Mm-hmm. This was a total Chris Chisora fight. It was his to be won. That referee was totally in the pocket. It was a disgrace. I'm going to come out hard right now. Look, you guys, it's Easter. Happy Easter, everyone. I was out. We're all barbecuing. Everyone's having a good time. That was a real bad fight. That Matchroom and DAZN and the UK, everyone that was affiliated with this fight that had that referee on the card, bad look for you guys today. Because you guys did everything in your power to take this fight away from Wilder. And it was by the mercy of them three judges that gave Wilder that split decision that saved this from being a total fucking disaster for you guys. But what a sham. You have a fucking trainer enter the ring. There's no disqualification. You have a fighter literally take a pause. He pulled a Javante. Right. Yeah, he pulled a Javante. Literally takes a break during the middle of the round. The ref's like, oh, you need timeout. Hold on. Chisora needs something. It was just weird, bro. The whole thing was really weird where it was like, damn, they're not going to give Deontay this. Deontay, I was really nervous for you, Miguel, going into that decision because I thought it was everyone involved was going to be against Deontay. It turned out it was only the referee. So shout out to whoever paid off the ref. You only got the ref, though. You didn't get the judges. Next time, do a clean sweep, man. Pay everybody off, you fucks.
Yeah, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, I was mad. Miguel, he was fighting. Hey, Deontay was putting it all into that fight. He's taking shots. He's on the ropes, risking his life. And they're just taking it from him. He's getting knockdowns that are not counted. He's getting breaks when the guy's hurt.
Oh, yeah. Did you see at one of the times that the referee warned the fighters right when the round started? He had him here. And it's just like, what the fucking time is clicking? Like, what the hell? You're so there giving Chisora plenty of time to rest.
To rest, bro. Every time Deontay got him on the ropes, there was breakups when there was no reason to break up the fight. He's just saying break because Deontay has Chisora on the ropes. And Chisora looks half dead. I hate to knock you, Chisora. But this was the worst. This was the first time that Chisora looked like that veteran guy that's just there to collect a check. They kept saying, oh, this is how he fights. Bullshit. Mm-hmm. He was a little bit more, there was a little bit more coming from his offense back in the day. Last night, he was mailing it in, and it seems like Deontay felt a little sorry for him, got a little compassionate.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? What happened to that? I want a body. Hey, look, we're supposed to grow as we get older. So shout out to Deontay for growing. Obviously, we don't want people in the ring that are really looking for a body. But last night was the first time that we seen Deontay act like a grown-ass man by saying, I seen that he was getting hurt, and I didn't want to hurt him. Now, Deontay, let me give you some advice. Hit him to his fucking body, dog. All right? Because the guy was gassed, man. This had nothing to do with head trauma. It had everything to do with his stamina. Can we fucking drop some body shots that are going to end the fight? Miguel, there's one part in the fight where Chisora is kind of begging Deontay, can you just land a combo so I can go? You know what I mean? Like, he's on the ropes, and he's like, come on, bro, bring it. Deontay's like, I love you. I don't want to do it. Like, stop it. It's still boxing, Deontay. If you don't want to hurt him to the head, give him 3 or 4 body shots. Do the Andre Ward Kovalev deal, right? 3 gut shots. I'm telling you, I was begging for it. You know what level I was on. I'm begging for it, Miguel, that he throws body shots. I'm telling Junior, I'm breaking it down. Dude, if you don't want to fucking hit him to the head and your guy is this tired, you know what he reminded me of? Remember when Kovalev fought Yarde and Kovalev was able to knock Yarde out at the end with the jab just because he was tired? I honestly think Deontay could have got that last night if he just would have tried a little bit harder than what he was doing at the end. Now, granted, I know he was throwing a hell of a lot of headshots. He was trying to knock him out, yada, blah, 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 right? The jab to the body, the right hand to the body. I just think Chisora would have caved for him. Chisora would have done it.
They said that this is the heaviest that he ever was, 266 or something.
Oh,
so it's the heaviest that he's ever been. You see him gassed out. That would be, I mean, is that not plan number one? It's one of the ways to get him to stop from coming in. You know, he comes in all reckless. You start cracking him to the body. I can guarantee you he'll start backing up, which he did eventually start backing up, but just because he was tired on his own, not because fucking Deontay was landing downstairs, which may very well have ended the fight a lot sooner.
As soon as Chisora backed into those ropes, this fight should have been over. That was him giving in. That was him going, you know, I'm done. I've come at you. You're hitting me. You're hurting me. He does it like, I want to say 2 or 3 times where he just totally gives up and backpedals right into the ropes. And I think Deontay does drop him one time with the right hand. He does get the right hand and gets him down. But it just seemed like Chisora was looking for the finish, and Deontay was not giving him that. He wasn't giving him the combo to let him lay down. You know what I mean? It was a single punch shit. So whatever. I love the fight. Both guys fought their ass off. Man, you seen I was screaming. You right? The passion was there. It was America versus the UK. It was old Deontay. They thought he was washed. He might be a little bit washed. He might be a little, but it was good enough to give us one hell of a throwdown. You know what I mean? These guys, it was a poor man's Hagler Hearns, in my opinion. Yes, it didn't end in 3 rounds, but the way they fought, skill was out the window, right? This is about fucking heart, determination, power. That's all these two were throwing. Because let me tell you, Deontay took some hell of a shots last night.
I was surprised how well he was able to take those punches.
Miguel, there was at least 3 times where I was like, "Oh, not. He's gonna get him. He's gonna because we know Deontay's chin is not the best as of late, you know. And Chisora hit him with the overhand rights. I think he got him with a few sweeping left hooks that Deontay was able to smile off. Very impressed with Wilder. Like that he came out and fought the way that he did. Chisora, no. Chisora, I gotta say, looked like a fighter that was giving it his all, but his all is not that much for the sport anymore. It's time to give it up, man. You gotta listen to your wife. And I'm gonna tell you something, you guys. That sounded like a man that was not listening to his wife. So at one time, she's the only one saying he's done. Yeah. He's like, she calls the shots, but whatever. Just saying it because it sounds good. I want to sleep with her tonight.
I'm just saying it because she's in the ring right now. Otherwise, if she wouldn't be back in the locker room, I'd be like, one more round.
Yes, it definitely sounded. And the way he fought, it was sad. It looked like the fighter that was giving it his all, but didn't have a lot to give. Just the way he was breathing, the punch selection, falling down, falling
Yeah,
over.
on his own. And I was watching the feed and it got stuck like once or twice, but it got stuck sometime in the second or third round. And my dad was like, my dad was watching it on another TV and he was watching on a different feed. And he's like, you see that he fell on his own, like his legs aren't even there. And I thought he was actually talking about Deontay because he's got really small legs, right? And I was like, what happened? And I'm like, no, the fucking English dude. I was like, oh, what? Why the fuck did he fall? Like it's barely the second round. His just, I mean, 266. Fuck.
And he looked it.
Yeah.
He looked 266. You know what I'm saying? He didn't carry the weight. He was overweight. He was out of shape. Deontay should have gotten the stoppage last night, but it seems like Deontay stopped himself. Granted, the ref stopped one of the stoppages. This fight was over in the third round when his trainer jumps in the ring. The fight is over at that point, you guys. And honestly, I think that's why the judges got it right. I do think the phone call came in going, you know what? This fight's already over. They're already going to get the DQ if they go back on the tape. Don't fucking make this a prolonged thing. Give the fight to Deontay and let's move on with the day. I was shocked he got the split decision out of there. Really was. It seemed like everything was built because he doesn't even win. It's either in the 11th or 12th. I don't have Deontay winning. I was really upset that Deontay.
I think it's the 11th. I think it's the 11th. Yeah.
It was up one of those late rounds, bro. And I'm like, what is he doing? He had this fight. He's giving. Oh, and I got to tone it down. I had a cousin today tell me, you know, Andrew, I like your show, but you cuss too much and you're a little too loud. So I got to tone it down a little. So I'll try to tone it down.
Who said that? He's going to get an angry email from me. He's going to get an angry email from me like, no, I'm telling my boy to calm it down. That's the passion we enjoy. Let's count the ways they were trying to take this fight from Deontay. Number one, that DQ that they didn't call, right? Number two, the ref / his corner helping him from like outside of the ring when he's like falling over. What the hell? Number three, that bogus point deduction. Yo, if that round was given to Chisora, it would have been a 9-9. Thankfully, I think it was given to Deontay anyway, so it was a 9-8 there with the knockdown because of that. The knockdown did happen in that round. And then when Deontay fell, I was like, oh, please don't call this a fucking knockdown because he lost his balance. Really, I mean, would he have gone down without the punch? I don't know if they would call it that, but it's just all these things. And then, of course, still one judge gave it to Chisora. Even at the end, it's like 4 or 5 different ways they're going to try to take it from Deontay. But yes, hats off to the judges for getting it right because ultimately the right guy did win. But, man, they were really looking for ways to take it from Deontay.
Yeah, and if it wasn't they, it was him, as in the ref. You know what I mean? They might have to look at that ref directly to see what he's connected to, but because he seemed like he was over his head, man. He doesn't know what to call a knockdown. He doesn't know when a break is supposed to happen. He doesn't know that the trainer shouldn't be in the ring. These are stuff like veteran refs that have been in those certain situations would have been like, you're fucking gone. You're canned right now. You can't. Dude didn't just come into the ring. He walked clearly across. Totally broke every rule. Like, I don't see how that would have got past the commission once Deontay's team puts in a protest on the fight. Like, how are they going to look at that and go, oh, well, you know what? It's the ref's call at that point. No, it's not. It's the fucking rules in the book. Right? The round was going. He comes in. Dude, that guy was weird. That was so fucking weird. That was weird. It was fuming. I was getting very upset what they were making Deontay jump through to get him a victory that clearly looked like it was in his hands. You know, I told you guys as soon as I seen the odds, Miguel, I remembered about Chisora's fucking defense. So was that not the case? That one round, I mean, Deontay lands like 4 or 5 right hands on this man's head. Like, that's what the bookies remembered, bro. The bookies were like, do not do it. Plus 140 is all we're going to give these fucking guys. Don't fight. Because I was thinking 3-1, bro. I really was. With the way Deontay had been knocked out previously, Chisora's kind of like the hometown favorite. And he did land his punches. Shout out to Deontay for keeping his chin together last night. I just thought Chisora was going to be a lot heavier of a favorite. The fan bases, right? The guy's gambling. I thought it was going to lean more towards Chisora betting on the fight than Deontay Wilder's people betting on the fight. Well, they made that all correct by the split decision victory they gave to Deontay. It was a very exciting fight. I was entertained. Yeah, Deontay went out there. He put on a great performance. Didn't lose his shit. Right, he had a lot of reasons to lose his stuff in that ring. Doesn't. Gets through. Gets the victory. It was maddening. Dude, he had so many other options. I don't know. With him being a bronze medal winner, I just thought the victory should have came easier last night. It didn't.
It should have.
Right?
Where was the jab? He did okay with keeping the distance at times, but it was obvious that Derek Chisora had no respect for Wilder's jab, because every time he would bum rush him, he would just come in basically and like smother the shit out of him, right? So there wasn't ever a point where Deontay was like using the jab to keep him. It was like just Chisora would cross that threshold briefly, and if Deontay doesn't throw the punch at that right moment, he fucking already missed, or it's gone. It's like, yo, you can keep him at that distance a little longer with the jab, so he stays in that distance a little longer. You can land the right hand. He did none of that. I was hoping that the Olympic pedigree would come out at some point, and it's like, oh shit, he's got a jab all of a sudden, right? He even if it's just to set up the right. He did none of that, but I did like how much he was holding. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of holding, but there were times where I'm like, oh, he's tiring this motherfucker out. He's holding him, he's grappling him, because that's physically taxing. On top of that, I would have liked to see it a little bit cleaner, maybe the body shots, of course, but ultimately, I'm sure all of the grappling and the clinching tired Chisora out to some degree as well. But yeah, I would have loved to have seen that the Olympic pedigree come out a little bit more, considering he did it. A very much needed victory. Let me see. Let me just double check here. So he's got where I'm at. I pulled up Deontay's record here. So he had one TKO victory back in June of 2025 against Tyrell Anthony Herndon. This was in Kansas. And then before that, it was the loss to Zhang, to Parker. He beat, Helenius. But man, all those losses back to back to back, KOs. Well, one was a unanimous decision. But yeah, very much needed victory by Wilder over a more recognizable name like Chisora.
Yeah, no, it was a career saver last night. Most definitely, that's what was ticking me off, was the lack of I told Junior that before the cards were announced, that he really let down the USA amateur coaching, right? Because this is a young man who didn't just come up out of nowhere. He makes it to the Olympics, he gets bronze. So he was coached by the best that this country had. He was showing a lot of the same flaws that you see, guys that didn't go through the Olympics have. The jab was one of them. He was pawing with the jab, which gave Chisora a right for him to already know that the right hand was coming. Then when he threw the right hand, he threw it in that, not from A to B. We always like to tell the fighters A to B, right? We're trying to get to our mark and get right back home, right? We don't want A, B, C, D. Your fucking arm is coming from left field. Wilder threw a lot of right hands, looping right hands, overhand right hands, that Chisora was able to just see and block, or just be able to get ready, brace for it. Exactly. So yeah, in that sense, I was very disappointed with Deontay, that nothing he was taught. When a fighter is on the ropes, squared up, hands are down, mouthpiece hanging half out, you don't have any knowledge of going to the body one time. Not a right hand, not a jab upstairs, right hand down, mix it up. Like, let's break him the fuck down. You know what I mean? I hope I'm not too loud.
No, yeah.
It's Philip, bro. Philip told me my cousin's here with me. Philip told me today I'm too fucking loud.
Oh, Happy Easter, way to call him out. Happy Easter, Philip. Way to call him out. The hell?
My cousin Jimmy, but it was my cousin Philip.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was my cousin Philip that was like, you're too loud and you cuss a little too much for me. So yeah. But yeah, dude. So that's where Deontay was pissing me off a lot. That fight should have been a lot easier for him. Let's just say that. You know what I'm saying? But they got the right victory. They got the right guy the victory. Chisora was also a class act at the end there. He didn't put up no fuss. Actually, that's what gave me credit that the judges were going to get it right. Was everyone was like, Chisora is not even acting like a winner. You know what I mean? His head was down. Deontay was kind of like congratulating him on his career, but he didn't show that body language that he actually thought he won the fight. And then the cards had him losing. So I was very I was shocked that they had given Deontay that fight out there. But to be honest, the third round wasn't going to change the outcome. I think as soon as they go to the board, I think the British Boxing Committee would have to have changed that fight anyways.
Yeah, no, that's a real possibility, because it would have been pretty damn like egregious for them to have given it to fucking Chisora. And Chisora at the end said, I thought I eked it out, yada yada. But what else is it going to say, right? It seems as though this is it for Chisora. However, Wilder might have very well, stamped the ticket for another big payday, because who was ringside? None other than Anthony Joshua. And we have been suspecting this fight might have taken place at some point in the last few years. For whatever reason, when it's ready, when the time it comes for these guys to fight one another, their previous fight ends up, they end up losing in their last fight. They get either it's Wilder getting smashed, or it's Anthony Joshua putting on not that great of a performance. For whatever reason, we haven't been able to get these guys in the ring yet. Now, with Anthony Joshua's recent victory over Jake Paul in a very, very high profile fight, and then now with Deontay Wilder finally getting himself a victory like this on a higher profile stage, is it time? Are we're gonna force this? I mean, me and my dad kind of like thought about it. We're like, obviously he's there, right? That's kind of the point. I figured. I mean, yeah, he went to go sell. Joshua was there to cheer on his fellow countrymen, right? So it wasn't like it was just there for Deontay to challenge him or anything like that. Only, but it's obvious that this is what they're setting up. Are we looking at that? Are we looking at a possible Joshua and Wilder fight in the near future?
The fight's there unless Tyson Fury steps in. I do think if Tyson wins in, what is it, next month, or is it this month they fight? They fight next week,
it's this Saturday. It's this Saturday.
Yeah. All right. So if Tyson wins this Saturday, no, I think AJ versus Tyson is the way they're going to go. It makes more money, right? It makes more sense financially to do the AJ Fury fight. And then if I'm Deontay, maybe AJ Fury falls apart. I'm going to look at still at least throwing it over to Usyk to see if His Excellency wants to fight with Wilder and Usyk. That might be worth more money. You know what I'm saying? Than him versus AJ. And so Deontay kind of has his options on who he would take next. And I definitely believe AJ has an option. AJ, I think him and Fury are probably going to make more money in the UK ticket sales. That was one thing, Miguel. They said that place is sold out. Did not look sold out, right? So I don't know if they bought some of their own tickets to make that sell out, as we've been seeing lately. Some of these guys have been doing, but like a quarter of that ring, the whole wherever that fucking big screen was, where they were walking in from, that whole section looked empty from there to the top. So I don't know how you can call it a sellout when a portion of the arena wasn't even given up for, there was no tickets being sold, obviously, on that side. That was, is this one of those things where they said, because we put out, say they put out 5,000 seats, oh, we sold all 5,000, so it's a sellout, right? But it's like, wait, motherfucker, the place holds 19,000.
Right.
Yeah, you got to read that fine print sometimes on what these guys are selling. So it didn't look like a sellout. I was kind of surprised too. I thought Deontay and Chisora were going to get a lot bigger crowd. It was good, but you've seen gaps where I think AJ versus Fury, no gaps, bro. It's a clean sellout.
All right. So Wilder has some options. It seems as though what the next option being possibly Anthony Joshua has a much better option in Fury. There's a better chance of that happening. But let's just put on that promoter's hat. If Deontay has his pick of either Usyk or AJ, who would he have? I guess who do you think he would have a better shot at? I mean, seeing the way we've seen him, seems to be a little bit more gun shy with throwing that right hand. Obviously, having no jab. If you had to pick, which fighter, either Usyk or AJ, would Wilder have the best chance at, a chance of succeeding or beating? Maybe not knocking out or anything, but the best chance of beating the way we saw him on Saturday.
The way we seen him Saturday, I don't think beats either guy. His best chance obviously is going to be the AJ fight, because Anthony Joshua has had suspect chin for a while now. Deontay at least looked like he still had that going for him, was the power, right? Wasn't able to finish Chisora, but he hurt Chisora many times. I thought it was a game plan that was fucked up why he didn't get that knockout, obviously, and the ref. Look, you guys, I got to tell you, if you look how many times that ref breaks up Deontay, well, he has Chisora flat on the ropes. Chisora is dead in the water. He's breathing hard. He can't lift his arms. And the ref is literally like, oh, bring it up. What? They weren't even holding each other. You were literally just doing this because Deontay has the upper hand right now. Like the ref was bad. You seen how I was talking, bro? Like I was heated, man. It's been a while since a fight that I had no money attached to got me so pissed off. But that's how bad I thought that ref was trying to do our guy in. Right? It was a total Chisora night with that referee. Even the point deduction, bullshit. Guy gets a knockdown, immediately you take a point away like 20 seconds later.
Yes.
I won't. Yeah.
You incompetent imbecile. You ref. He should be banned.
I think I called him a cunt once. I was getting British on there. I was doing that. I was throwing everything out there. My son was like, "Whoa."
Like, damn, let me write these words down because I don't know where they're coming from. Never heard of these before. I'll use them at a later time, that's for sure. But let me write these down and take some notes when my pops is yelling at the TV.
Gonna be all, Junior said this where I'm like, oh yeah, no, that was me.
Yeah.
That was me. Sorry.
Peter's like, I don't even know what it meant. I had to look it up, but apparently it's bad over there in the UK. Where's he getting this from? I'll talk to him. But anyway, it was a fun fight, albeit sloppy, but it was very fun going back and forth because it definitely had me and my pops jumping. Anything else you want to add to this before we move on to the next topic?
I hope Wilder AJ is made before Wilder Usyk. What we seen last night, I don't think he has a shot with Usyk.
Not with a sharpshooter like that. He might not have the one punch knockout, but power, but he'll land, and you will go down. Even if he has knocked people out, it's usually him landing throughout the fucking fight and then finally finishing them and doing them in. But I think it would probably go worse. He'd get picked apart against Usyk. And I mean, damn, what would be worse? Now I'm thinking, what would be worse? Getting picked apart like little by Usyk, or getting one fucking hard knockout punch by AJ? Like, I don't know which one would be worse.
I see the AJ versus Wilder being more of a Tommy Hearns Hagler fight, right? Where it's just chaos, bro. Like, they're just gonna throw until someone lands. You know what I mean? And in that scenario, Wilder really has the opportunity to knock AJ the fuck out, like one shot knockout. AJ does not have Chisora's chin. We know that. So I like that fight from him, and I kind of like Wilder in a chaos situation. He showed it last night. Sometimes when Chisora was bringing those power shots, had him on the ropes, Wilder is fighting all off of natural ability. Granted, I didn't want him doing it. I'd rather him move off the ropes, get behind his jab, get the distance. But there's times where he just starts chunking, and you see the right hand is landing, bro. It's crisp, because he's just letting it go naturally. You understand what I'm saying? And I think him in that situation with AJ, you might have a Dubois situation all over again where it's pink and he's on his face. It's over. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely hope that they get the AJ fight going, even though AJ looked like he wanted none of it. AJ kind of brushed him on, like, go on, little guy, right? Because he's got fury, and that thing's going to be a record setter probably for the UK. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
Might be me just wishing right here.
Could be, because I think I saw that quick clip of them walking by, or a Wilder walking by, right, and fucking AJ's kind of on his phone like, yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
You go
exactly.
ahead. You get yours. This is your time. You celebrate. But I got bigger fish to fry somewhere else.
Right. Right.
All right. So as I mentioned, this weekend there's a lot of fights. So much so that literally over my computer screen I am watching the Zuffa card on Paramount. But anyway, one of the other fights that took place on Amazon Prime Video, the few times that PBC does this, is Tszyu making his return to the ring, at least on a much more higher profile fight against Dennis Nurja, if I can pronounce it right. I was pronouncing the J, but apparently it shouldn't be. In a middleweight bout, they went the distance. I think it was 10 rounds. Might have been 12. I don't remember, but I think it was a 10-rounder. And it was the same Tszyu. We didn't. There's nothing different. He got a nasty gash over, I think, his or under his left eye from a nasty headbutt. It looked like that part. I think they clashed heads before, like literally in that same round, because that like cheekbone of Tszyu was already like red. It looked like he had already, unless it was a punch, but I thought it was a previous headbutt, and then one more did him in and got a nasty gash. Thankfully, it was under the eye and not overt, so it wasn't one of those Fundora type situations where all the blood was getting in his face and it was having a hard time. He was having a hard time seeing. It wasn't that at all, and it looked like it didn't bother him much either, because obviously the fight continued and it wasn't that big a deal. And he ended up coming away with the victory. Now, this fight was at middleweight. He made it very clear that he's not going to be staying at middleweight. I thought, you know what? This is kind of the direction Tszyu is going. He's going to stay at middleweight, maybe get a little deal with Zuffa here, and then maybe get some sort of Tszyu and Callum Walsh type situation at middleweight, right? That didn't happen. That's not going to happen, at least not yet. At least it doesn't appear so, because he made it clear that he's coming back down to super welterweight. Now, before we get on to why he's coming back down to super welterweight, Andrew, it was on Amazon Prime. If you watched it, it was Mauro Ranallo and Joe Goosen kind of like in a sound studio, right? And they weren't actually there in Australia. They were just kind of broadcasting it from Australia, but them watching it in a studio. So PBC didn't even send the people over there for nothing, but they were able to air it. It was kind of a rarity. We don't see PBC on Amazon Prime Video regular Prime too often. It's usually pay-per-view. I guess they learned their lesson to some degree. Like, don't put Tszyu on fucking pay-per-view.
No, I believe this is the second time Tszyu.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on there. Were the ratings that great that they were like, no, we'll run it back with Tszyu? I have no idea. Look, you're absolutely right about Tszyu not being different at all. It's the same fighter. He's coming straight forward. He's taking punches. Like, there's definitely a ceiling with Tszyu. It's not high.
And we've already seen it.
Yeah. Spence is going to get him again, right? If Spence is just half of what he used to be, he doesn't miss Tszyu. Tszyu's coming straight for him. Tszyu's really going to have to rely on his power that night going up against him. But for me, it's almost like a desperation shot. PBC, excuse me. For the PBC, both fighters are past their prime. This fight leads nowhere. Right? Paycheck, maybe, but it proves nothing for both guys.
You don't think it leads anywhere, like, because obviously PBC is the kind of people that wants to keep things in-house, right? They don't necessarily want to. They have, and they're still doing it, but if they had their chance, they would much rather keep everything in-house. So I figured they're going to try to do something with Tim. This fight with what's his name, with Spence is it essentially, but Are we looking at maybe if they try to bring back Charlo, maybe they'll have one of them fight or I should say, Charlo fight the winner of Spence and Tszyu, because that was kind of where I was leading at. That's the reason he's coming back down to 154 is to basically take on Spence. And I was looking for I could have sworn there was some sort of tweet or something like that from Spence. I'm gonna look it up here in a second, but I figured. Oh, and there was a recent video of what's his name of Charlo. I think it was at the Fundora fight, talking all this crap to Sean Zattel, the reporter who was basically asking him questions, and he seems all ready to come back, right? Well, he's got the options at PBC, right? But I suspect they might try to maybe prep him a little bit by feeding him either Tszyu or Spence, whomever ends up, coming out the way of the victory of that one. So I see a possible long-term plan, at least throughout the rest of the year, I should say, at least. But it doesn't at least lead to that, maybe to a Charlo fighting the winner of these guys.
That's a good game plan, as long as the dollars make sense, right? So what they're gonna have to look at is what the pay-per-view numbers did for Charlo in recent times, what these numbers did for Tszyu on this last Paramount
Prime.
Paramount Prime. Yeah.
No, not Paramount Prime, just Amazon Prime. It was
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Isn't that Paramount Plus or whatever they're on?
No, not PPC. The Zuffa. Yeah, everybody else is.
Zuffa's on there. They're on Paramount Prime. Thank you, Miguel. Did I get it right, or I still say it wrong?
You still said it wrong, but it's okay. It's Paramount Plus, and then Amazon Prime. I just say Prime Video because it's way the fuck easier to say that.
Prime Video. That's what PVC's on.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Fucking boxing.
I was able to find a tweet from Errol Spence here. He says, "You think shit sweet? I'm doing you so bad." Or I'm do you so bad. I don't know. Maybe he was celebrating with some I don't know, some drinks, because
Coronas too.
Some Coronas too. Yeah. Some Hennessy. What do blacks drink? I don't know. What kind of beer? Some Hennessy? Some Crevassier? I don't know. But he says,
I'm not going down that road.
I don't know. I'm just saying. We have our typical Modelos and Coronas, right? I figure they have their own 40s. I don't know. But I don't know. He decided to go on. But basically what he's trying to say is, you think that was sweet food? No. I'm gonna whoop your ass so bad. So, but that was on Twitter, Errol Spence. So Spence is on board, obviously, right? And there's been a couple of times where he's hopped into the ring. I think it was after one of Fundora's fights, and he came out and he basically was like, yo, I'm ready to take on Fundora. And ultimately that didn't happen. I don't think what might have been the WBC was willing to sanction it, or whatever belt that Fundora was holding at that moment. They weren't able to sanction it. He's had plenty of time to rest. He should be in better shape now. I guess we're looking at possible. And I think, timeline-wise, we're in April. So maybe July, August, maybe we can get this fight going with Tszyu and Spence.
Yeah, no, Tszyu and Spence is a go. I just don't know how much I'm agreeing with the other PBC fighters, because the PBC is out of money. So either these guys need to generate pay-per-view buys on their own, be a household name on their own, or I don't see Al Heyman doing it. So the winner of Spence versus Tszyu, especially if it's Tszyu, it's going to have an easier time going out and getting a huge fight with Fundora or, one of the other champs. I know two of the guys are Boots and Zayas are going to be fighting soon, but I think they would be in a better position to wait one of those fights out and get that one than to go after Charlo. Charlo, to me, is he's a title defense at this point in his career. He's a gap filler. It sucks for him because he really didn't lose the title at 154, but that's what happens when you play that fucking game of, you're not fighting, you're out of the ring for so long, then you move up, you lose a fight, you get forgotten about anyways. And I think that's what's happening to him at 154. If I'm Tszyu or Spence, I don't take that fight. If Al Heyman's trying to push that on me, I would avoid it, trying to get, why aren't you giving me Fundora? That's the bigger money. Now, Tszyu, I guess, has already fought Fundora twice. He might not want that fight, right? So maybe Tszyu looks at Charlo in Australia, but then Al Haim would have to work with him on that whole deal, right? Because he's gonna act like the A side.
You don't think they'll bring him to? I mean, like instead of I mean, they probably could make more money over there in Australia, but
more money.
I don't know if Charlo would be willing to go over there. You don't think they'll make some decent money? Where's Charlo's from? The Texans? Are they Texans? I forget where they're from. But you don't think they can do? You don't think they can do like a pretty good size fight like at a good arena? Maybe
on an undercard.
Okay,
but I do not think that they do a good no. Tszyu versus Charlo in Las Vegas. Nope. Not doing good at all.
No, but Texas, like because there's where Charlotte. No.
I just don't think
the PBC people show up.
No, I don't. I don't. Especially for Tszyu, who's already had a bad look, right? And you're asking them to pay top dollar to watch two kind of has-beens. Where in Australia, one's a legend, so it's not a has-been, right? One of them there is pretty known in their country. They love him. I think they show up for him. Then you add the American decent title record. They'll push that heavy in promotions. I think it's a better sell in Australia for both guys. So yeah, I don't know. They're not main events anymore. Unfortunately, that's what happened. Now maybe they're all rich. You know, Al Heyman did overpay them for the fights that he did get for them. So hopefully they invested their money good. Didn't use Al Heyman as a financial advisor or any of his real estate guys that are currently going to prison with Floyd Mayweather. Hopefully they didn't use any of those guys.
No. Hopefully they didn't use the Steven Espinosa calculator and fucked up their cash somehow, making a comeback.
Hopefully they were like, Floyd, you're wrong. I'm going to go with this other company, but
after hearing how their credit card declined at a restaurant and causing, I suspect they kind of fell down they went down that Floyd route and have, their initials embroidered on their fucking socks and shit. I think that's kind of where their money went.
Walking around saying they own buildings that they don't own. But he told me I owned it. Yeah, but you don't own it. So there's a problem.
Right. Like, call Uncle Al. Like, no, Al told me you don't own the building. I heard it out of his mouth directly, yo. That's kind of the way it works. But hey, that's why I'm thinking they're kind of coming back, right? Charlo's coming back at some point. And then, I mean, the 168 Charlo, I meant to say, and then this 154 pounder, shows up on the Fundora at the Fundora fight. So I suspect the well is starting to dry, so they're like, shit, we got to get back in the ring, make whatever money we can possibly make. That's kind of, I guess that would make sense. Maybe why, because I initially thought that maybe Charlo wouldn't want to go to Australia, knowing, oh shit, I want him to, I'm the man at 154, I never lost my belt, I'm not going to go over there, and I don't want to get screwed out of a decision. But if he's kind of pinched for money, he might do it anyway.
That's right. No, it makes better money for him. It's a better financial decision. And Miguel, he's a favorite in America. He's a favorite in Australia. Mm-hmm. It's Spence versus Kell Brook all over again. Like who did Terrence Crawford go over to the UK and beat?
Ricky Burns.
Ricky Burns. Good knowledge. Yes, sir. It's that fight all over again. Right? Like, let's just take it, bro. It's an easy belt. You're gonna go over there, we're going on a vacation, see the country, fucking win a title, come home. So I see this falling into that same category there.
Mm. All right.
Spence should not be scared to go to Australia and take on Tszyu, is all I'm saying, bro.
Right. He has experience going overseas, so that shouldn't be a problem. Now,
you're absolutely right. I forgot it. Yeah, the Kell Brook. Yes, he's already done it. That's absolutely right. Yes, sir.
You kind of threw in the name Fundora earlier, but this kind of leads into the second part of the story here. There has been, and this is kind of why I wanted to bring it up, because it still involves the 154-pound weight class. According to Eddie Hearn, who was interviewed recently, I'm going to read this off of this Facebook account, Mo Boxing No Problem. In a recent interview, Eddie Hearn has revealed that talks are underway with Luis de Cubas about making a unification fight between Sebastian Fundora and Josh Kelly, who he has. So, wow. we haven't even got, a few weeks removed, if that, from Fundora's ass whooping of Keith Thurman, and he came out pretty clean, right, unscathed. It didn't look like he got hit really much and not cut or anything like that, although that bicep does look a little off. But nonetheless, wow, talks already underway. I don't know how advanced they are. This was from a few days ago. So, but it seems as though Josh Kelly is already in talks with Fundora. I don't know how the hell he's going to be able to handle Fundora, but all right, I'm down. This is a unification bout. Sebastian Fundora's got the WBC belt while Josh Kelly has the IBF. All right, cool. We do this, and we basically have, two champs, right? With Zayas defending his 2 belts against Boots later on in June, and then this one whenever the hell this one happens, of course. But okay, what are your thoughts about that? Fundora and Joshua Kelly already in talks.
And just like that, Virgil Ortiz drops to what? Drops to like number 5 in the division now. And I'm just talking about, how guys the ball just keeps rolling. He's going to get looked right over. There's no way he comes back and he's the A side to 2 guys that are about to unify. The winner of Zayas versus Boots, or possibly Kelly versus Fundora, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a great fight for Fundora and Kelly. I think we talked about that happening, that if Fundora was to win, he should immediately try to call Kelly, try to get this unification going, because it puts him in a better negotiation spot when you do go up against potentially who's going to be the man of the division. I know Fundora should have a bigger say, but I just feel like the noise that Zayas and Boots are making, that's going to be the man of the division when that one's all said and done, right? Mm-hmm. So at least Fundora will have a little bit more ammo. Or Josh Kelly. I hate to knock Kelly, but he's the one that was, 10 years in the game. This is his first title he's winning. So obviously he's going to be the underdog with Fundora. So Fundora gets the win. It gives him more ammo to go in against the winner of Boots and Zayas. I do not know where Virgil Ortiz is in all of this. It really looks like he fucked up his opportunity.
Well, on the sidelines, he's on the bench, basically. Yes. He's watching the game while he's on the sidelines, really.
Yeah, and then to demand more money than what you gave up on when these guys have all unified now. Incredible what he got himself into in that part.
Yeah, no kidding. We're going to talk about Oscar here in a little bit because there's a little bit of news from him, nothing regarding that, but it sucks the situation that he's got himself into by sometimes I feel for him because I kind of get the impression that he's kind of in the middle of his manager and Oscar, but he has to make a choice, right? And if going with his manager this time is basically forcing him to be on the sidelines, maybe he made the wrong choice. Maybe he needs to fucking, just patch things up with Oscar already so they can get going, and he's not waiting from the sideline, but rather ready to step in against any one of these guys here. With this, if you remember, Joshua Kelly took the belt from that Bakram dude who knocked out Tszyu, and he fucking schooled him. As a matter of fact, I think he dropped him one time. Do you think he's got with the right formula, or to any degree, or does he's got the brains to formulate the right game plan to beat Fundora?
Hard question to ask. I would have to look up Josh Kelly's fight, look at him a little bit more to see if he has the IQ. But like I said, Miguel, I don't know if it's an IQ that's going to beat Fundora, or just that thinking outside of the box, finding a way on the inside and landing the punch that no one seen coming, because the guy seems like he is a monster on the outside, and on the inside is what he knows, right? So he's a serious weapon at both ends. I don't know what's going to beat Fundora right now. Like I said it 2 weeks ago, he does seem like he's getting better as he gets older, as the competition's gotten stiffer. He's gotten more knockouts than he has decision victories. That's a straight positive for the champion, right? When they pick up your opposition and you're knocking them out, he seems like the real deal. I know everyone's gonna go, oh, Boots and Zayas are better on paper. We will see. We'll see how Boots and Zayas look, but Fundora is a real beast right now. I can't say there's one style that's going to beat him, especially because Kelly's more of that boxer type, right? So he's going to be on the outside, and can you get through an 80-inch reach?
Yeah. Can you gauge that you're completely out of the way when you lean back and he still lands and he still reaches you? Like, oh shit, that I don't know what kind of game plan he's gonna have to have, but I mean, if this fight is actually going through, then he's gonna have to come up with a good game plan to even fucking, even if he wins, his face might be looking like ground beef afterward, even with the victory. So, taking a punishment like that, yeah, maybe it makes it sweet at the end if you do get the decision, if the fight goes to the 12 rounds. Of course, I'm just kind of spitballing here, but it definitely helps to win if you do. But he's not coming out of that fight against Fundora unscathed. That's for damn sure.
I feel that's going to be the story for a lot of guys that face Fundora here in the next few years. Yeah. Definitely losing on points.
But very intriguing. That's the last update that I heard, that they're already in talks, and I'm not sure if anybody has asked Hearn about it since then. But all right, I'm down. I'd be totally down for that one. Hopefully they can make it here in Vegas. Fuck it, I'll take it here in Vegas. I don't know. The MGM didn't sell out at all against with Fundora and Thurman, but if they bring Fundora and Kelly over here, I might buy a ticket this time. I might actually go down and splurge a little bit, get a floor seat or something, and be like, yeah, fuck yeah, this is a championship, PBC championship fight. But anyway, I figured throw that in there because that's good unification stuff, right? You want the best against the best, and we're gonna get it at 154, one of the most stacked weight classes. It seems like they're moving in the right direction. All right. Anything else you want to add to that before we move on to the next one?
Because you said, do we have a Zuffa update? Is there any the fights? What fight are they on?
Oh, shit. It just ended. The main event. Yeah, the main event just ended. I don't know where I have my remote here, but the main event just ended. Yeah, I mean, you can catch it again on Paramount, but I didn't catch. There was a great knockout too. I forgot. I sent it to you on a conversation. We'll check it out later. But yeah, the main event just ended.
How did Masayo do?
Oh, dude, he fucking won.
All right. Well, he won. That's
he finished McRory. I can't pronounce the dude's last name, but he finished that dude. The referee, I'm sorry, the corner threw in the towel. The corner saw their guy getting fucked up, and they're like, yo, no. And I mean, Masayo straight out did a backflip. He still had that much energy. And this is the thing. It's kind of a side note, but he was the champ at 126. He beat Gary Russell in an upset and got the WBC title, right? He's getting older, so I'm sure making 126 is much harder. Logically, you think he goes up to 130. Zuffa has no 130, so he kind of has to go up to lightweight. Wow. So in this fight here, he's fighting at 135. I'm sure it was okay with maybe within the Zuffa realm, 135 isn't too bad, but worldwide against other promoters, he'd probably get fucking messed up. So but with there being no 130-pound weight class in Zuffa, I guess, and mind you, I mentioned this before, Zuffa synonymous for making guys fight at certain weight classes. It's like, you're not fighting light heavyweight, you're going to middleweight for this one, and it happens. And in this case, obviously he can't stay at 126, so he had no choice but to make 135. But anyway, yes, Masayo got the victory, the upset victory, because I think the other guy was a favorite.
Yeah, very good, very good.
But yeah, so as I mentioned, I'm going to keep bringing it up. There's a lot of boxing, right? We did the Zuffa card just ended, but earlier this morning, MVPW. This is the women boxing, right? The main event, Caroline Dubois, Daniel Dubois' sister, defeated Terry Harper to unify belts. I think there were. I forgot what weight class because again, I kind of tend to forget. I want to say there were super welterweights. I think 154. I think that's what it was for the women's. By all means, correct me if I'm wrong. But the fights were okay. They were fun, right? The setting was nice. There was some sort of theater out in the UK. But the primary reason I'm bringing this up is because there was a lot of technical issues, like a lot of technical issues. The sound would go. For whatever reason, the sound would just kind of like go away completely. It would kind of dim down, like as if someone was lowering it, and then they bring it back up again. There were a couple of times where they were showing a graphic, like a package of Harper and Dubois at the weigh-in, while Michaela Mayer and I forgot her first name, Punch is her last name. they were talking about another fight that had nothing to do with that video package that just they happened to like bring up. There were times where it would get pixelated, where the camera would move on to a different angle, and the bottom half was still pixelated of the previous picture, and the top half was like live. It was bad, and there were a lot of little like having technical difficulty messages up there, and I don't know what the hell was going on. And I'm like, ESPN has done that, so maybe it's not entirely on MVP. I mean, the distributor is ESPN Plus regardless, right? So that's kind of why I'm bringing it up, because I was like, all right, cool. I was at work this morning, I work from home. I have the TV on, and I'm like, why the fuck does it keep breaking up? Like, is my internet acting up? Like, what the hell?
Well,
kind of bad.
You're talking to a man that won 2 awards in high school for TV production, right?
So I was unaware of such thing. I didn't know you had the credentials.
Yeah, man. Yeah, big time.
Did you get the VCR to work? Is that what it was? You plugged in the VCR and you're like,
no. I was doing very good in my METV class. Screw you, Miguel. It's the only thing I did in high school. I was like, Mom, you got to go to senior night. It's all I got.
That's all. It's like, please, I'm begging you, Mom. That's all I got going for you. But support me, please. That's all I could do.
She told me I won 2 awards. I don't think she went though. No, I don't want to start crying.
She's like, I believe you, son. I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Mom.
Did you graduate? Fuck away from me.
Yeah.
Anyways,
like, I would have if you showed up to the damn award show, Mom.
It sounded like, from everything what you're saying, it sounded like MVP was running the board on their own. The whole thing about the sound fading out, most of the time, that's when they're switching cameras. So when you're switching cameras, you want to go with the audio that's in the direction of that camera, right?
Look at that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's stuff like that. The whole, when you're saying two screens were showing on one, that's them switching the board over and not knowing how to get that switch. You know what I'm saying? He's going too slow or something. He's bringing both into one. It's shit like, to me, it sounds like ESPN was not involved in the production of this, and maybe that was MVP's first time putting on their own fight. These are all things they can learn, though. This is you got to get someone on that board that knows what they're doing. It's that guy that said the NFL shows that whole TV production crew. It's the guy that goes camera 3, camera 1, and then the guys underneath them are switching. Right? They're switching from camera angle to camera angle. Well, the audio got to switch too. You got to go to different mics on on that side too. So that, I think that's what you were seeing there. Either way, it's Paramount. They'll get better. It's free.
It's ESPN Plus.
ESPN Plus. Jeez.
It's all right. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for.
Well, ESPN's probably going to be a little bit mad. Paramount, I thought they would give a little bit leeway because they're not really in the boxing thing, right? It's kind of new to them. But ESPN's going to be like, look, get your shit together, or we're going to charge you more money and send our guys.
Yeah, exactly. Because like when I saw that, and I was like, "What? Why?" And Paramount has its issues too. Their functionality is all that great, but when I first started watching boxing, or specifically Top Rank on ESPN Plus, it just seemed so weird to me. I had never. The only streaming service at the time I think I used was like Hulu or something. But I'm like, "What? This is so weird." I didn't know there was an ESPN Plus. I didn't know. As time went on, of course, I caught on, but it just seemed weird watching fights on that. Now it's commonplace, right? So there's nothing that's strange now, but I remember those kind of issues back then. So when I see it now, I'm like, what the fuck? Why? This is me thinking this is on ESPN Plus. It shouldn't be a problem. But there were a couple of times where the picture would go and then they'll have a little message on top saying that the sound is off. We'll be right back, kind of thing. So I just like left the app and then I came right back in, and everything else was okay. The production was good. Besides that, the show was good. Come to think of it, I'm not even sure if Jake Paul was there, but I'm gonna double check that because I don't even think I saw him. I could be wrong. Wow. But what was the other guy? The other guy's name is.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, the other dude. I forget, I'll have to remember his name. But anyway, he was there. He was totally running the show, right? He was running the shot. So it seemed as though he had everything in control as far as like the fights coming out at the right time and everything. But everything else besides that, from the fans' perspective, me right watching, I'm like, what the shit? This thing keeps acting up. So I figured I'd throw that in there because this is their first show, right, with ESPN Plus. So hopefully they get everything fixed. But the show was good. The fights were okay. But man, that thing just it made the experience bad.
I've seen that online too. I've seen people talking about that, about the sound dropping out. Yep.
Yeah, but anyway, I figured I'd throw that in there. If you guys want to check it out, of course, ESPN Plus is where you can find the replay. Caroline Dubois did defeat Terry Harper. It was I think Harper got a cut from a headbutt, and then ultimately she got dropped, I think, in the 6th round or something like that, and then they went the distance. So it ended up being a decision for Dubois. So it was a good fight, and then a couple of other fights on there that was fun. But anyway, that's the reason I want to say that, because it was kind of MVP's first show here, kind of MVP or MVPW, I guess that's what they're calling it. All right. Okay. So let me go back to my docket here and see what we got. Okay, cool. So this one kind of had me laughing. We've talked about it a few times, and even us specifically in recent episodes. Turkey Al-Sheikh. It seems as though they're tightening the belt a little bit, right? Making sure that X amount of money is going out, since there's only so much money coming in. And we kind of sort of got the impression that maybe he was pulling out, not that way, but I mean, exiting, making sure that, the everything is going okay with their country before they even focus on fucking boxing right now, right? However, he decided to go to social media to give us an update, because chances are he heard our show and he said, let me go ahead and shut these guys up before they continue throwing my name around and dragging it through the ground here. I'm going to read this fucking tweets. These are tweets, right? He goes, yes, I'm very busy with other stuff. I can't seem to get this, like, what's the word? I'm trying to zoom in here real quick. Okay, here we go, because it's very small writing. He says, yes, I'm very busy with other stuff. Thank God my country is safe and we are happy, even when we are close to war. Thank you for asking. Missile and drones coming into my country each day. And to prove to you that I'm too busy, not interested in boxing anymore, we just did Shakur Teofimo in the biggest fight in Madison Square Garden history. I don't know if that's true or not. Garcia Barrios in Las Vegas, one of the biggest fights of the year. I mean, it is still April, so take it easy. Next week, I will be in London for legend Tyson Fury against Makhmudov. All right, at the heavyweight title fight of the Pyramids, that too against Usyk and Rico. And that's just the first half of 2026. We are finalizing Canelo in Riyadh season. Okay, sounds like maybe they're still going to do it in Riyadh for September. Planning to do 2 fights for Joshua, another for Tyson, and another for Garcia the second half, talking about the second half of the year. This is my schedule this year when I'm busy and not interested. Wank, wank. Imagine if I'm not. Okay, so even though he claims he is busy with other stuff, he's got already these fights lined up here. So we should shut our mouths and be happy with the shit that he's fucking telling us. But Andrew, he decided to come out and throw in his little clapback to us and let us know that he hasn't gone anywhere. What do you think about that?
I appreciate it. We had said it was about time that he does make some kind of statement, right? Because they went ghost.
Yeah,
I'm still hearing a lot of what is the word? Those aren't promises. Those aren't certified dates, right? He's saying we're looking at stuff. He's not saying Canelo signed for Riyadh. What's the holdup? You already know who the opponent's going to be. You already know the date. I think you have every date available. There's no one else going to be in Riyadh in September on a Mexican holiday, right? So we can guarantee that that's their date. Fight announced already, right? Anthony Joshua. So what? You have 2 fights lined up from. What's the date? When they happening? Where are we? Where do I buy my ticket, my plane ticket to? Right? I want to go. Not that yet. That could be later.
Yeah. What's the venue we're talking about? Yes, Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia. It's like, that's not what we asked for.
Yeah. AJ and his 2 fights is not. We're looking for Garcia Haney. We're looking for Rolly Romero's. Who's he fighting? Right? You had your hands all in that fight. Mayweather Pacquiao. What happened to that one? Are you guys involved? Are you not involved? I mean, I don't know where that fight's at. There just seemed to be a lot more that Riyadh, Turkey, DAZN, whatever stamp you want to put on it, fucking Zuffa. He owns a part or something of all of them. So you have a lot more to talk about, my man, than just AJ, Tyson, and Garcia. What is Riyadh season now? Only 4 fighters? I thought you owned the whole business. Right? I'm sure there's a lot of guys over at DAZN that are wondering what they're going to be doing here shortly. Right? Are they fighting for big money or are they fighting for $3 million?
Right. And you know, it's kind of funny. I was looking over this, and just to make sure I didn't miss anything, we kind of asked this question before. He didn't mention Zayas and Boots, which is going to be on DAZN. So I wonder if maybe that one had nothing to do with. I mean, again, to some degree, it's going to have something to do with him because it's on DAZN, and that's, you know, part of him, of course. And I'm sure the Riyadh season logo is going to be on the canvas of the ring, but funding wise, I'm not sure if he's involved in that at all, quite frankly, because he mentioned all this other stuff in one of the hottest weight classes right now in boxing, a fight that big taking place in Madison Square Garden. If you were involved, you sure as fuck would throw that in there, right? I mean, it doesn't sound like he is.
That's a good point. And not only that, Meridian, Hearn, and Hoya have all said it's the biggest fight in boxing. Now, I don't believe them at all. I do not think Boots and Zayas, it's a great fight. I'm going to watch it, but I don't think it's Pacquiao versus fucking Floyd. Okay, stop it. It's not the biggest fight in boxing. You know what I'm saying? But with all three of them saying that, you're absolutely right. Why wouldn't he have put his name in that hat? You know what I mean? We're bringing you Boots versus Zayas, right? That's a good point right there. We need evidence that things are moving from past this war. Like, they need to confirm there's a date in Riyadh from this point on. Not what you did with Barrios and Garcia. That's pre-war, right?
and not in Saudi Arabia.
And not in Saudi. Yeah, that's what I was just. We need to know what's going on with Riyadh, right? We need to know what's going on with all of the tourism you're going to bring out there. What fights are we getting out there this year? Crickets.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that, all right, let's just say here he says he has 2 fights for Anthony Joshua. All right, let's say the first one comes in, I don't know, July, we'll just say, right? And the next one comes in, I don't know, November, we'll just say. We're approaching, you know, July. Yeah, you still got some few months. I get that, but shouldn't we hear something by now? Like, at least that, right? Because that's to squeeze in 2 fights here in a 8-month period. You're gonna have to hear something. You know, I mean, you can go into the ESPN website and take a look at fights going all the way to fucking June. You know, July. Like, something should be on there. There should be a Anthony Joshua versus TBA location, TBA or something. You know, a date at the very least. But not even that. All right, so much for a clapback. Oscar De La Hoya likes to say he brings the facts and he makes you laugh. I don't think we got any facts here from Turkey. Not one.
No, definitely no facts. There's a lot of I mean, he's looking into what he can do, but yeah, there's nothing solid in that whole rant, bro. There was nothing there that was like, oh shit, you know, like, oh yeah, Canelo is fighting on September 16th in Riyadh. It's just them thinking about doing it, or it's kicking the can down the road until you see what it's like down there, right? Because he won't know until a few months from now if the war is actually on a ceasefire. Now, look, granted, War Watch, it seems like everyone's ready to play ball. It's really weird. You know, I fucking hate the internet right now because you can't believe everything that you see, right? Because it was like yesterday they were ready to do a ceasefire. The new president for Iran's a cool president. He's talking to America, blah, blah, blah. Then today, President Trump releases this big-ass tweets about if you don't open up the canal, the strait, whatever they need the ships to get through, we're going to bomb the fuck out of you guys, and have like a picture of like, did you see like 50 jets ready to take off from a runway? And he's like, we're going to bring hell if you don't open it up. It's like, which one are we in? Are we in the ceasefire and we have a cool guy, or are we about to rain hell on the country all over again?
Let me read it because I have it right here. It says, this is Tuesday. Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the fucking strait. you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah, President Donald Trump. Wow. I didn't read that last part until just now, huh? Not God
Right.
bless or nothing. He just said, praise be Allah. Whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's
If
blaming
that's not
God
anything,
now.
I know, exactly. What the hell? And then a side note, did you hear that supposedly, I mean, this is rumored that he was admitted into Walter Reed Medical Center. I don't know what the hell is going on there, but no confirmation there. But anyway, I just, again, the internet, you don't know what the fuck you believe. When I see this shit breaking, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? He's in the medical center? What happened now?
I did see that when instantly, obviously, you're going to go to look for other sources once you don't find that it's viral, right? You would think something like that would be fucking scattered everywhere, right? So I'm hoping that the president is in good health. Even one of his own, Alex Jones, I believe, came out recently on his show saying the president mentally is not there anymore. We need to look past him. He started to, it's just like, fuck, man, where did all this come from? But we don't need that right now, right? We have more important, the most important thing America needs right now is stability at the president level, right? We don't need this bullshit. We don't need the auto pen coming back, right?
I thought you were going to say that.
Talk politics.
No, I thought you were going to say, you know, we don't need this right now. What America needs is to know when Canelo's going to be fucking fighting in Saudi Arabia. That's what the fuck we need to know. God damn it. That's we need to get back into that.
Is the Saudi money in or out? That's what we need to know right now, man. Jeez almighty.
And a side note about money, and just because it happened to pop up on my feed here, digital payments, trackable payments. This is in Mexico, gas payments will now be exclusively digital. Mexican president has said. So no cash at the tolls, which I do travel when I go to Tijuana and Rosarito and Ensenada. We pass a couple of tolls and we have the pesos ready. We hand it to them in cash or pesos, whatever coins. Now we won't be able to do that if this is true. But anyway,
it is true. It is true. Yeah, because that's what they do. They're going to push it on the travelers first, right? Because travelers kind of dictate the economy, right? They're making money. They're the ones buying airplane tickets. They're the ones so as long as they can get all of those people to go with the whole digital currency thing, the rest of us will just follow. We'll have to follow, or you're out. But what do you really do? You ain't them, right? You're not putting as much in as these people are. No, it went to like Europe too. I think Europe's doing it too. They're real big into so everywhere where people travel a whole lot, bro, you know, only be able to buy your way in with this stuff.
With cards.
Like, all right, well, I do it. Whatever. I'm on vacation. Oh, bitch, it's when you get home too. But I just think it's when you're on vacation.
Right. It's literally swipe away, because that's pretty much the fuck you're doing, swiping that shit. But anyway, I figured I'd throw that in there because I happen to have seen it. Hopefully, Turkey gives us something a little bit more definitive here in the near future, and we get to hear some dates, some venues, some opponents, stuff like that. Until then, this is just hot air, I guess.
Yeah, we know for a fact that Lopez is out on his next big fight. Seems like it's Lopez, right? He's already coming out saying a date.
Lopez.
Garcia, excuse me.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah. Oh, what? He already said date? No, I didn't see that part.
Garcia's saying June 25th, Las Vegas, when they're fighting.
Okay.
He came out and said that on a podcast.
Oh, wait. Is it the one he was getting his hands? Or no. I think I might be talking about. He might be talking about. I think he's talking about Emiliano Vargas at that moment. But anyway, okay.
Yeah, that was that Vargas one too. That went viral. Vargas calls him out. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know what that's all about. That's Vargas making future money there. But yes, Garcia seems to be fighting Lopez. Doesn't seem like he's in talks with Haney or Rolly Romero at all anymore. Then Rolly Romero and Devin Haney both come out this week and go, oh, yeah, we're done talking to each other. He wants too much. He's out of his mind. They're going their opposite ways. So what seemed to be coming close to a finale at the welterweight division of having an undisputed is no longer close. They're all going their separate ways.
Probably because Turkey is stepping back.
It has to be.
Yeah,
it has to be. Even if it's not all the way, at least when they called and said, hey, what does it look like for, what do you guys want to do? It has right now, nothing. You guys stay busy. We'll, in a few months, we'll bring it back to the table and see what we're gonna do. But I think with the way Turkey was talking and the way all the negotiations seem to be dead in the water now, It has to be that they're not planning on doing anything huge for the next few months that wasn't already on the board. Now look, AJ in the UK, you guys, that's a sellout. So they're probably safe with that one, right? Yes, we're going to bring AJ back. Garcia in Las Vegas, most likely he's going to do great fucking money at the ticket sales. So these are like the guys he named are like for sure bets, right? Raleigh versus Devin Haney at 25 million guaranteed is not a for sure bet, right? Because if Haney's making his 16 million, what they say he makes, you got to think Raleigh's going to at least bring in 10. We're at 26 million guaranteed already. Don't think that's a guaranteed anything. So they're like, not that one.
Right.
Garcia versus Lopez, we can make some money. AJ versus his shadow, we can make some money, right? Look at what's happening with the Tyson Fury. Did you hear about Fury's fight tickets?
No.
Being sold is now. Look, I don't know what the currency is out there, but they're saying £9.
Well, okay. What? Okay, that's very low. All right.
Exactly, bro. £9 is some of the and the tickets. It wasn't the range was not that far, like 9 to 100 and something pounds. This is
okay. £9 like UK. Wait, hold on. What is it? Is this? That's like $11.
There you go.
Like
no, they were getting clowned, bro. They're getting clowned. Like, how can he be signed? Yeah, I hate saying it like that. How is he signing Conor Benn to 16 million? Tyson Fury is probably going to make what, 20, 25 million guaranteed? And you're selling tickets for $11.
$11, yeah. £9 exactly is $11.89. We'll be generous and round it up to $12.
Crazy. Oof. Remember when we said they're in the red?
Mm-hmm.
They're in the red, bro.
This is like red. Like, it's not just like red in the graph. It's like a fucking alarm, like deep maroon red vibrating.
He's saying, don't do it.
Yeah. Right. They're like, how much you paying? 15 million for who? Conor Benn? Conor the fuck Benn? Oh, all right. And he's the co-main event.
And listen, if this isn't a learning lesson for Turkey himself, he's like, wait a minute. So we got the two hottest names in the UK, Fury and Benn. This is what you guys told me. Yeah, I'm selling tickets at £9 for both of these guys to be on the same card.
What arena is this going to be at too? Hold on.
Toting. It's the same arena that Chris Eubank and Conor fought at. I want to say that.
Oh, you're right. Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham, yeah. Hotspur Stadium in London. Okay, featuring a capacity of 62,000 seats.
Well, that's a good capacity. You know what I mean? Maybe that's why the ticket prices are low. We need to make sure they're selling, though. You know what I'm saying? I still got to say, Miguel, though, at two guys making that much money, it's got to be a little bit, not maddening, but just a little bit of disrespectful, right? Remember when I talk about he's giving the fans the fights they want to see? He's trying to stack the cards. Like, here he is giving the UK two of their biggest names, their draws. You can't get more than $11 American dollars out of the fan base.
Well, maybe this is. Well, I mean, it's still. I would still. I think it'd be more, but this, considering Wilder. I'm sorry, not Wilder. Fury is kind of on the way out anyway, right? This is kind of one of those Chavez going to Mexico thing. It's like, just one more for you guys, super cheap tickets, so you guys can see me one more time before I crack out of here. I don't think that should be the case for Conor Benn, but regardless, it's on the same card. That's my best bet. It's like, he's on the way out, going to give the UK fans. I've been fortunate enough to see Fury fight in person, I think 3 different times. So, I got to see him. I want, in the arena. It's cool. It's pretty dope. It's fun. I'm not going to say it's not. It's hella cool. And here in the US, of course. But maybe that's what it is. It's just one more like hurrah to his UK fans, of course, his fan base, saying, I'm going to make the tickets cheap so you guys can come and see me one more time before I call it a day.
Yeah. I just think he's a little bit pissed off that he's only getting so much money for those seats.
Yeah.
I think he would want more, man. You're talking about two, headliners. Conor sold out 2 fights. Conor is the fight of the year candidate, possibly the fight of the year award winner also in that the second one. The rematch, I think, won the award for fight of the year. The first one ran up for it. So you have all this momentum going in, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the other way around. No matter what, you have all this momentum, and they hit you with no, we got to sell tickets at, 9. Now, granted, that's the top. I don't know, don't know what the first rows are selling, but we talked about them being in the red. They're getting clowned right now on ticket sales, not being sold out, and then the price of the tickets is like, it's not a good look for the UK,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and could this also be, oh gosh, so you're going to pay the the main event and the co-main event a hefty price, and you want to mitigate or minimize. I meant to say minimize the loss. So you want to, make sure that the tickets are priced reasonably so people will come and you fill up the fucking stadium and you're not too far into the red. But if you have higher prices, because you kind of have to have, they have to have it because of the higher ticket for what Tyson is being paid, and so is Conor. Is this a way to just ensure that they fill the fucking place up? They're like, look, we know those tickets are not going to sell if we put them at X amount of dollars because, we're going to pay these guys to be able to make it up to some degree. We have to make the tickets higher because we're paying these guys so much. We know if we put the tickets at this price, we're not going to get them to sell. We have no choice but to make them dirt cheap.
They should never have signed Ben at $16 million if they had, you know what I mean? If the first fight, they're going to have to start working deals out, or, hey, how do we not get in the red? Well, then who did you sign here? So I just, we'll see. Hey, look, maybe fight night comes and 62,000 seats are sold and they made somewhat of a profit. I don't know how much you have to sell to make up 26 million that you're already in the hole. And that's just with 2 fighters. That's not their opponents. That's not the rest of the card. We can almost guarantee the 2 fighters got these guys at least $26 million in the hole before anything's made. It's a learning lesson for Turkey if this doesn't go right. And also for Zuffa. I don't know how much Zuffa is paying attention, if they even wrote the check for this fight, but it's a learning process for them too. If they, because then it's like, how much were we in the red, right? Because you don't want to be in the red at all. But if you're millions in the red, well, fuck, the pressure's on now for your next fight and your fight after that. You can't keep adding to the deficit, right? So if they're already way in over their head on fight 1 because they overpaid the fuck out of the co-main event guy, Zuffa card number 2 can't be that far out, right? They're gonna have to pay a lot, just pay way more attention to who they're putting on and what prices that they're doing, or this year is gonna be a bad year. It's starting out pretty bad.
I pulled up the tickets on Ticketmaster for over there. They're not crazy for floor seats. We're looking. This is 1,998 pounds, which is about $2,600. I mean that's
good though.
Yeah, right. That's for floor seats, mind you, for one ticket for floor seats. That's pretty decent, right? I mean, I don't think that's too much to ask.
It's not too much, and that's a decent price where they'll make some good money if the fans are actually buying them, right? If you can sell those tickets at that price, that's a good, 2,600 is a good number for the front row for the promoters. Not for the fans. That sucks for us. That's, damn near, what is that, 5,200 for 2 seats? Fuck.
Yes. Without travel and without hotel.
Hey, don't make me sound like I'm rich. I'm not buying those seats. Those are great prices.
Yes. Right. It's like, oh, what? I could just swipe. Yeah, sure. That won't be a problem.
You go to the fight? No, I'm just playing.
Max out the cards. Why not? Just swipe all the cards we got. We can do it.
Giza out of school? No, I'm just kidding.
What?
Dad said take Giza out of school.
Oh, yeah. She can go to summer school, make them up later, make up the credits later. That won't be a problem.
It's coming. School's not worth shit. Fucking drop her. We're going to the fight.
Like, do you know who's fighting? This is one of our last chances to see Tyson Fury before he calls it a career, guys. Should totally fucking make up for it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But maybe this is a learning lesson for Turkey, and his little clapback that he had at us.
Now, when you looked up the tickets, are there still a lot available? That's what I wanted to ask you. Like when you try to buy some, try to buy 10 in the first section, not the first row, but like lower bowl. See if you could get the maximum tickets you can buy. See if they'll give them to you in one row. If they give them to you in one row, we're fucked. That means no one's buying these things.
Okay. All right. It's letting me get to 7.
There you go. That's a good amount.
Hold on. Yeah, it looks like it's letting me get those exact same ones, those 1998 75 ones. It's letting me row 4, section H, and
it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not different seats anywhere.
Well, I mean, it doesn't give me like it just has like a little map to it, like not like a map, like an image of the arena or the stadium, and then like a little dot of where it's at, but it doesn't tell me the specific seats. Let me see. Get tickets. Maybe I have to go to the next page or something to click on next tickets. But I selected 7. It looks like it's letting me select it. It's just maybe my internet is too slow and it's not letting me get to the next page. But it's taking a second for the next page to.
Yeah, because sometimes when you buy tickets in that big group, you'll see that they'll give you 3 in one row, 3 on the next row under you, and maybe a 2 on the top row. You're like, oh, wait a minute, I want them all in the same row. And they'll go, no, we don't got them all in the same row. This concert, whatever is selling, sir. If you want 7 tickets, these are the best we can do for you. At least your party is around you. That's what they'll literally tell you, because there's not enough seats. If you can get 7 in a row, nah, they're not selling. They're not selling, bro.
It made me like try to sign in to Ticketmaster, and I'm like, oh fuck it, whatever. I didn't even get to that part, but yeah, it doesn't look like it. I mean, yeah, I went to a different website, but it looks all fucking funky. I can't even tell what's what. It doesn't give me the map the way the UK Ticketmaster one did.
Well, we will know more on Wednesday's show anyways, because the fight is this week, and obviously Zuffa is going to be under the mic. It's Zuffa, right?
No, it's not. It's that other guy. Remember how like Zuffa's
guy, but it's the Conor Ben project that's going to be under the microscope. For whoever's paying them. We just need that's going to be a huge night for Conor Ben, right? Because if that arena's empty and you had Tyson Fury and you're supposed to be the new big shot of the UK scene, not a good look for Conor Ben. Tell you that.
Yeah, we'll find out more as the week progresses.
Yep.
All right. Anything else we want to add to that before we move on to the next topic?
No, sir.
All right. So this next one is a bit of a funny one. I mean, for us at least. Maybe not so much for one Floyd Mayweather Jr. But as our mind reader / fortune teller Andrew told us last week, maybe Netflix decided to give Floyd some sort of cash advance or some sort of wiring advance or something in regards to this fight here. Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what happened, according to Manny Pacquiao's lawyer and their team. Floyd Mayweather's rules of negotiation, right? Netflix sent him $5 million just for him to open up talks about the fight, and then they had to advance him $70 just for him to sign the contract. Wow. This is how Floyd does business, according to Manny Pacquiao's lawyers. That's what happened. So I'm seeing everywhere Floyd Mayweather is in breach of contract because he did sign for a legitimate fight. Regardless, he went online, or he was online in a recent interview, saying that the fight is going to be an exhibition and not a fight that's going to count on his record. And it may not be at the Sphere here in Las Vegas. That's not 100% either. I'm not even sure what the hell, if we can believe anything comes out of his mouth anymore, because I mean, it is Manny Pacquiao's lawyers. Lawyers are very good at lying too, so it's not like they haven't. But I think Floyd is kind of cornered here. Everybody's talking about him possibly being in breach of contract. From what we understand, contracts were signed for a legitimate fight on Netflix, and now we're finding out that Floyd received some sort of cash advance prior to it even getting into talks and then eventually signing. and now he might not even compete. Damn. Did you not call it? You called it, Andrew.
Yeah, but I also said it's not a good place for boxing if this comes out to be what happened, and this is what turned out.
But this can't be a reflection on boxing as a whole. It's just this particular fight. No, like Floyd and the way he does business, it's not necessarily like those disclaimers of like the what is it, the views of this talker. It does not necessarily reflect those of TBS and Turner Broadcast or whatever the fuck, right? This is just this fight, no?
It's just this fight, but it's one of our cash cows. Truly is broke. Like he literally burned through $1 billion, dude. Insane. We all look now. I know here at Fight Net Radio, Lee Honish, Miguel, and me have been telling you guys for a very long time that this was going to happen. I never thought it was going to be 10 years. What is it? What were we looking at? 2015 is when he fought Manny.
9 years. We're
9 years, dude. And you burned through $1 billion. They're literally like, you're literally asking for a cash advance. I think that's where it hurts, right? It's sort of like the Tyson thing. It's just another black eye because we don't have so many success stories. You don't want your only few of them to be like, oh yeah, they were successful, but did you see what happened to him after? He went flat broke. Yeah, he had to come back and fight and was getting cash advances from companies and stuff. Like, total joke, dude. Like, fuck. 50 was right. You don't know how to read. Sorry. Right? You lost it all, dude. You lost it all. So that's what I mean by it's not a good look that Floyd is taking cash advances. Yeah, you know, dude, I still think somehow I want to say he was trying to pull a Don King where he was like making a fight that wasn't guaranteed. There was no guaranteed money. Give me the cash advance. I'm going to flip this thing. We'll be back. You know, we'll have a big event and then you guys will pay me again. I got to think he was going to walk over to Turkey at some point with this fucking fight. This was going to be the first fight of his 3-fight deal. That almost makes all your money back, right? He'd already have Netflix already on board, right? Turkey doesn't even need a platform. He just needs to invest. It's one of those, do you like it? Pay it, right? And that's what Turkey was doing. He liked putting his name on everything that was successful. I got to think that Pacquiao versus Floyd on Netflix was going to be pretty fucking successful in the viewing ratings, right? So putting Rehad on that, putting Zuffa on it, I'm still not 100% that Zuffa wasn't a part of this that fell through, right? Because they can't answer the phone until Turkey answers the fucking phone. So I just think Floyd was trying to double end something here. We'll get the true story at some point, but I do not believe Floyd was like, yeah, it's going to be MP Promotions that tells me what the fuck to do. That they're going to say they're going to have Manny Promotions signing his check. That's a win for Pacquiao. If I was Manny, I would just post that on my thing. Like, whoever would have thought I was paying him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see Floyd doing it. They were going to do something else with this fight. They were working this. Floyd was working this fight for a bigger picture that, as of right now, is not coming through. So he's trying to back out. Now Netflix is going, no, you can't. You already signed. Right? That's your dumbass fault. Floyd's like, no, because maybe Floyd isn't in the gym as much as we think. Maybe Floyd's feeling a lot more punches, and maybe his defense, his reflexes, all that is not the same. He knows Manny can touch him now, right? It's not the same fight. Now you might lose your up and only make 150 million. Say he makes 200 million. Whoop-de-doo. The guy was like $54 million in debt the last time they said, right? So 54 million out the top is gone. Taxes is gone. Corner is gone. Like, what are you really left with? And you might lose your O, and there is no backup plan. What are you going to turn into Roy Jones? Told you would. Fuck Facebook. Anyways, you're going to turn into Roy and start traveling the world and just taking on whoever for $1 million bucks?
Like, all right, I sold my O. Now I'm gonna sell the 2. So, you know, who's gonna sell the 2 losses? So cool. Hey, you want to buy the 3? I'll buy 3. Let's go. I'll go to Germany. I'll go to fucking Ukraine. Let's go.
Exactly, bro. So now he's having cold feet because the package deal is not there anymore. Now it's a single fight, a fight he might lose. It's all bad now. Now it's all bad. He didn't listen. All I do is sit here every Sunday, Floyd, and try to give you guys the best advice. No, just kidding.
we're financial advisors now. You guys, we're therapists, we're mind readers, we're fortune tellers, and we're also financial advisors. Okay, I found it funny that you mentioned 50 talking about Floyd not being able to read. Like Floyd, yeah, Floyd, that'll be $10, and he's like hands him a fucking $100 bill. Like, no, 10, 10, not like I can't read. Just take the fucking money. Like, all right, you're not getting any change back. There you go.
Hey, you're saying he's at the jewelry store waiting for them to count the money and give him back his change? He doesn't know how to.
Yeah, it doesn't know that.
He just puts it on there. Huh?
Yeah, and the jeweler's just like, just keep taking it. Like, here you go. Here's your watch. That was $500, but you just paid $3,000 for it.
Yep. No, every day.
Well, we here at Mad Boxing, we like to let Floyd have it because well deserved. All around the world, people are letting him have it in every way, shape, or form. And who decided to chime in and throw in his 2 cents? None other but Oscar De La Hoya. He didn't have an official clapback Thursday, kind of, but it kind of sort of was. And he let Floyd have it. He let him know, yo, in Oscar's words, stop being a pussy, get back in the ring. Going that direction is like, come on, man. Like we had a rematch clause, and we had it for 1 year. What did he do? He retired for 1 year and 1 day. Going that direction. So he, of course, let us know what happened, right? Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I practice it in my sleep sometimes. I'll be brushing my teeth and I'm like, all right, in my Oscar De La Hoya impersonation. But yeah, I mean, he let Floyd have it. For those of you who may or may not remember or heard, if you guys seen Oscar's clapback recently, or if you want to call it that, he talks about his fight with Floyd Mayweather back in 2007, I believe it was, and how there was a rematch clause, but that clause was only good for 1 year. So what did what did Floyd Mayweather do? Decide to retire for 1 year and 1 day. Came back right after that year expired, so he wouldn't have to honor that rematch clause against Oscar, and continued with his career. I think we've talked about this before. Andrew, you were there. You were shedding a tear or two when Mayweather was like, "This is it for me. This is it for me." At the podium. We all believed him, right? I mean, I'm not sure if he really did, but regardless. That's the kind of guy he is. So Oscar decided to call him out and say, pull that bitch card. Yo, quit being a pussy. Get in there with Manny like I did. Is he right? Is Oscar right saying yo, or is it Floyd like, yo, none of your fucking business, stay out of this shit,
I think the age difference was significant when De La Hoya is still fighting Manny to what Floyd is trying to come back. Isn't Floyd in mid-40s now, right?
I think Floyd is like 48 now.
That's all right. I didn't want to say it, but yeah, I agree with you. I think he is probably higher.
Oh shit, he just turned 49 in February. So it's
over.
Yeah, he's like 10 months away from 50, ho.
Oh my God, he waited too long. He waited too long. No, he gets no deal. You get no deal, you win nothing. I love that saying. That's in the Chocolate Factory. Remember when he tells them, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. What is this? It's like you get nothing. Good day, sir.
Yeah, you win nothing. Yeah. You get nothing.
There it is in black and white. You win nothing. Good day, sir.
That's totally, dude. That's way too old, bro. There's no 3-fight deal in that. Oh, Floyd, you fucked this all up. That sounded so old when you just said 49, dude.
The third fight would be he'd be 50. 51?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's over. You better get your 100 million to move to another country.
Should we like send some officers over to Floyd's house on a suicide watch here? Because that's some knee deep in bullshit.
Bullshit he's in. Oh. No wonder why he's suing Showtime. And I gotta say, Al Heyman, I'd be pretty scared here, because if this deal falls through, you're next. You're absolutely next. The guy that was ahead of his finances isn't going to get a lawsuit coming.
Yeah, if he's unsuccessful with this lawsuit against Showtime and Steven Espinosa, you best believe next on the list. Even though he said it, I think it was Broner who said it. Like, he'll never do any.
No, I think Floyd did too. No, I think you're right. I think Floyd did too. But no, that will change if that Showtime one falls through. Most definitely. Wow. That's a real reality hit right there. That Floyd's just turned 49. You said,
In
yeah,
February, 49.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He fucked that up, man.
he waited too long.
He waited too long. Playing all those bullshit. Making $1 million fighting in some, you know, country, obscure country, no one was even paying attention to. He should have came back and struck the $1 billion deal.
Well,
Yep.
he supposedly he still has those other 2 exhibition fights with Mike Tyson in the Congo somewhere, and then that one Greek kickboxer and wherever.
But
And I mean, I don't know how much it's
I
going to
got
bring him, mind you.
exactly. I got to think those are $1 million deals. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he'll make $1 million, but that's not what he needs right now. Floyd needed another career, and at 49, that career is not there. Holy shit, 49. Floyd's 49, you guys. Floyd Mayweather's damn near 50 years old. It's over. It's fucking over. He's lucky we're still talking about him.
Right.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Damn, did that come out of nowhere? Manny didn't have a better career than you. I'm sorry. Yeah, you had that win over him, but Manny's hella still more significant in the sport. You know what I'm saying?
Especially coming from like 115. I forgot how small Manny
8
was,
divisions.
right? All that shit, and still kicking and still fighting
Yes.
legitimate people, man. I mean that, and who the hell knows when he'll step back in the ring? But recently, that draw with Barrios, that's something significant. A champion in the weight class.
That's why he can't take the rematch without it being a deal. He knows he's not winning that rematch. It's 49.
Yeah,
yeah. Not the same Floyd,
he's like, I got this win over you. I ain't giving it to you back. We can do an exhibition and we both win. No, fool. Like, I want my win back or loss back, whatever.
You know damn well his punches aren't the same. His sparring's not the same. And when a fighter realizes that he's not the same, his aura, his confidence, all that is dropping, right? So there's no way he's like, yeah, I'll fight Manny again, knowing damn well he's not the same Floyd Mayweather.
And knowing damn well that even back then in 2015, Manny stunned him like twice. He was able to catch him at that time where he was faster and the reflexes were faster and he still had plenty of legs underneath them and everything. Manny was still able to tag him, although it was very minute. It happened only once or twice throughout the fight, but it was enough for Floyd to like kind of like, oh shit, I just got fucking tagged hard by Manny, and a Manny with a bum shoulder or whatever that he was talking about back then. Now, even with this Manny who still has that kind of pop, against a much slower, somebody with reflexes slower than they were 9 years ago in Floyd. Yeah, that is quite the risk.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Without having guaranteed money for that fight plus your next one, I don't think the risk fits the reward. He would rather wait. You'd rather pull out of this fight and pray that Turkey and the Prince come back to boxing here, quick, where they start making, well, at least, dude, I'm not investing in Floyd. I'm the one going, you got to buy Floyd. You got to buy Floyd. No, not at 49, bro. Remember I told you guys, he waits too long. I'm going to be the guy that goes, how much is your electrical bill? I'll pay your electrical bill for you to fight for me.
Right.
We are damn near in that moment with him now.
Yeah,
I'll pay a mortgage. You got a car?
How much do you owe those jewelers? All right, yeah. I'll cover that one.
Exactly, bro. Like if a promoter's picking his terms with Floyd now, it's not Floyd doing his own.
It's Floyd at the beginning of his career where he didn't have the pull to call the shots.
49. Oh. Damn.
Yeah. So Oscar, talking about Floyd here.
Oh,
getting in there. Oh,
can I say something about that though?
Yes.
It was the first time that Oscar looked desperate too. I didn't like it, bro. I didn't like him calling out Floyd, and I didn't like him calling out Jake Paul. What the fuck? Like, seriously, I do not want to see Jake Paul versus Oscar De La Hoya. He was like, wait, I think I can fight Jake Paul. Let's go at the very end. I'm like, what? Bro, no one wants to see you. You're old as fuck, bro. Do you know what is going to happen to your reputation if Jake Paul beats you because you're old as I can't cuss anymore. You're old as hell.
You're way past the cussing threshold at this point. You've already thrown a few out there, bro. At this point, who gives a fuck? It's towards the end of the show. Who cares? Shit.
It's the end of the show.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? Could you imagine if Oscar, his back goes out and he's not throwing punches like he did in the Pacquiao fight? You know, Jake's just teeing off on him. Come on, like Oscar's, dude, like he looks so desperate. You really did look like you're broke too, and you're trying to sell your name once again to make a few dollars. Walk away, bro. You're supposed to be a promoter. You're supposed to be a leading promoter. Don't come out calling some freaking 20-something-year-old. You know, your fake abs, everything's fake. I don't want to rag on Oscar too much, but it looked desperate. Him calling out Jake. But Jake Paul should be smoking a cigar or something and saying, I got this whole industry, right? He's the one that should be saying he has the whole industry right now. Seriously.
Yeah, just get your tech guys and your shit fixed on ESPN, and then you can definitely take over the whole industry. Just make sure to make that shit. Just focus on that for a little bit, and then you get everything else will fall into place.
Learn how to fade out a camera.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Nobody wants to see Oscar back in there again with his he's gonna show up in a what is it called? A hammock? What are those camel hammocks? What the fuck are they called? Banana hammocks in the ring. You know, is that what he'll do because his girlfriend told him it was a good idea to show up like that with the Mexican gloves? Right. Wouldn't that be some shit if he comes out in like fake fishnet? Just because.
It'd be a bad look for Oscar if he was trying to come back to boxing. The boxing don't need that.
No.
Mike Tyson gets away with it because, and it's like one of my family members said earlier, it's because he's crazy as shit, right? We don't know what the hell that man's going to do. I think that's the interest that a lot of the casual fans have in Mike, right? De La Hoya and Mayweather coming back at 49, that's getting pathetic. Will you stop? Can we stop this nonsense?
It better be for free on Fox or something because ain't nobody paying for that shit.
Right. I mean, we're getting into Roberto Duran territory now. You tell Duran, dude, you need to stop, bro.
Yeah. He's like, well, they're offering me William Joppy. Hello, I'll have to take it. Like, oh, no, Roberto, fuck, no.
He's gonna fight. Jorge Castro. We're gonna do some fight, and then Jorge Castro got into an bad car accident. It's the only thing that derailed it. He was gonna be like 60, and Duran's 60, and he's 50-something. They were gonna do it in Argentina somewhere. It was like, dude, you guys, no, we can't have this. This got to stop. I did not know Floyd is 49. It's Manny or nothing. Get the fuck out of here. You're going home. That's it.
And it's Manny in a legit fight or nothing.
In a legit
not
fight.
No fucking exhibition.
Yeah. No. Oh, man. No wonder why he wears that TMC shit. That is a grandpa. He's a grandpa. The hell?
Yeah, legitimately a grandpa. All right. Any last words on that one before we toss in? We hop into the last topic here.
No, sir.
All right. Just one more here to throw at you guys. For those of you who remember, we talk about we doubted whether or not Usyk's next fight was actually going to happen because of where it's going to happen. Well, not only is it happening, but they got a whole undercard already announced for it. So I figured I'd pull this up here and take a look at who they got on the undercard. All right. Co-main event, Hamza Shiraz, okay, against Alim Bejik. I don't know who that is, but I know who Shiraz is, right?
Let's say Shiraz's name again. Yeah.
Yeah. Hamza Shiraz. He's on the card. He's the co-main event. I mean, I guess with the amount of money they're going to pay Usyk and Rico, I suppose there's only so much money left for the undercard. Jack Catterall is on there. Okay. He's taking on Shakram Gyayasov. All right. Don't know that guy, but definitely know Catterall. What fight landed on this undercard? And it should be the co-main event, although according to this, it isn't. Frank Sanchez and Richard Torres Jr. land on this fucking card. All right, cool. I'm down. It deserves to be co-main event, all I'm saying. We are talking about a main event in the heavyweight division. Why not make the co-main event heavyweight as well? Or, a co-main event heavyweight division as well. Possibly even a future opponent. I'm looking for some other familiar names on this card. There aren't many anymore, as a matter of fact. But those are the ones that I wanted to throw that out there because we were hesitant. We doubted that the fight was actually going to take place in where it's supposed to be, the pyramids of Giza. Because of what's going on over there, we figured maybe that wasn't going to happen. It seems to be maybe this was Turkey's, maybe his only fact, is like, all right, look, yo, I'm making this one. So, trust me when I say the other ones will be made. This one is already made for 23rd of May, I believe it is. But all right, we got Shiraz, Catterall, and Frank Sanchez and Richard Torres Jr. on the undercard of this fight. Not bad. Main event, debatable, but undercard, not too bad, huh?
Not too bad. I don't know how many fans travel to Egypt to see it, though, right? You don't have a lot of Catterall's a decent fighter. He's not a main event guy that people from the UK are like, fuck that, I'm gonna go see Jack in Egypt. And then Torres is very young. Frank Sanchez is Frank Sanchez. And the kickboxer and Usyk kind of got a lot of backlash from the boxing community not wanting the WBC to sanction this thing. So I don't know if they're really going to tune into it. And I got to tell you, this young man, this kickboxing champion, did himself no justice on DAZN this weekend. It was on DAZN, right? Yeah, this weekend. He did an interview. Did you catch that? The interview he did?
No, I didn't catch it. No.
Okay. It was in between fights. You know how they go every once in a while, they'll go to some like little interview instead of talking about the next fight.
Yeah.
Well, they had him there. He does an interview and just totally in my eyes blew it. Talks about not really wanting to be a boxer, how he boxes to kickbox. Like, what the fuck? How are you supposed to sell a ticket, bro? It came out right away and going, the first thing he says is something like, yeah, it's going to be hard for me to fight him because I'm used to kicking guys. Hey, asshole, don't sign up for the fucking fight then. How about that? Don't like sign up to make money and then start telling the fans how you didn't want to do it or you're not really this guy and the fight would be way easier if you could do everything that you do in your other sport. It's just a total turnoff, man. If I was Turkey, I'd be like, look, asshole, when I pay you, you're going to go out there, you're going to tell everyone you're going to fucking flatline this guy, and boxing is the greatest sport on the planet. That's why you're here.
Sell the fight. Sell
the fight, man. Yeah, he didn't sell it this weekend. It was actually like he was actually, in my opinion, making excuses. Right?
Pre-excuses. So when he loses, he's like, they didn't let me kick him. Like, no shit, fool.
That's exactly what I. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, bro. Who cares about why you got into boxing? Just say you like boxing and you always wanted to fight the champ. Now you're fighting the champ, and I believe I have the power to actually do something. But he didn't. He went the total opposite. So wasn't really happy about the way he sold the fight. It's happening in Giza. I'm glad that they're putting the fight on. I just don't know what it's going to do for Turkey, for Riyadh, for everything that this thing was supposed to do. To me, this is another one of those, are you doing it just because, is it an ego thing with Turkey right now? Where he's like, no, I said we're fighting at the pyramid, so we're fighting at the fucking pyramid. I don't care if there's no one there, if no one watches. The prince, I don't think the prince is going to be there. We'll see if Turkey's there. I don't know why it's going off still, but we'll see. We will see. Maybe there's a lot of UK guys that like kickboxing I don't even know about, and there'd be a bunch of white people there, I really don't know, Miguel. But on the outside looking in, red. I see red. I see red in the Tyson Fury fight, and that looks to be coming true. And I see red in the Giza thing. So here we are, talking about how they're taking over boxing. But there's a whole bunch of red right now.
Yeah, no kidding. That one, we had our reservations as to whether or not that was going to actually come through. But man, it just seems like Turkey's doubling down. He's like, not only are we having him, but here's the undercard for it. We got everything in place. All right, I guess we'll see. We're about a month and a half away from it. We'll see how it goes. That it does intrigue me. It does. I do have a soft spot in my heart for these out of arena type events and shows and fights where you can kind of see things in the background. That's one of the reasons why I loved Caesar's Palace fights back in the day, because you can see the Caesars in the background, or even when they had them at the Mirage here in Vegas. they were outdoors. It was just basically 4 huge sets of bleachers with a big old canopy with the lights covering everything. And you can see stuff in the background. I thought it was kind of tight. You know what I'm saying? Even here, sometimes for Formula One, when it's here in November, seeing the casinos in the background is kind of cool. I dig that. That's like, I'm kind of a glutton for those kinds of events. So it would be tight. I want to see this. I want to see how it looks with those fucking pyramids in the background. That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
Besides that, that's kind of it. Besides that, we talked about the what's the word? Oh, damn, the logistics of it, like how they're gonna do this, set up a big old tent, I'm sure, to have the fighters wait in, to wait, and like the air conditioned tents to have them basically chilling there, warming up or whatever, right? Locker rooms kind of thing. That's a pretty fucking penny on top of what they're gonna be paying Usyk on this one here. So, yeah, this is as red as it gets, but looking forward to seeing what it looks like come May 23rd here. Okay. We pretty much ran through all of the topics, Andrew. One more thing I wanted to let you guys know, and I talked to Andrew here about this. This week's Wednesday show, our usual Wednesday show, is going to be pushed back to Thursday, so just one more day. The reason being, there's actually a fight here in town that's going to be at the Cosmopolitan. I set in for my credentials, see if I get approved, but regardless, on Wednesday, there's going to be a press conference and there's going to be a media workout that's going to be open to the public, both of them. So yours truly will head down there on Wednesday to get as much footage and maybe get some interviews, get some stuff down there as much as I possibly can, and post them on our YouTube channel. So keep your eye out for that. So that's going to be Wednesday. And because of that, we're going to push the show back to Thursday. So going to be Thursday afternoon. So just one more day, but just want to give you guys the heads up that there's going to be no Wednesday show, but rather we're pushing it to Thursday because I'm going to try to get you guys as much footage as I possibly can. It's going to be, let me see if I can pull it up here real quick. If the name rings a bell, it's because we have actually seen him before. Let's see where we're at here. The main event, where'd it go? Damn it to hell. Brandon Adams. If that name sounds familiar, Brandon Adams, he fought on the undercard of Canelo and Crawford, and he beat Boacek on that one. Let me see if I can bring it up here real quick because I remember seeing it. He beat Boacek in a rematch. So if that name sounds familiar, he's going to be fighting in the main event against somebody else who's undefeated, as a matter of fact. But anyway, that's going to be here in Las Vegas, and I'm going to try to go to those media events that they're going to have for that. So yeah, just want to make sure to give you guys the heads up. It's going to be a Thursday show, specifically this midweek show here. Okay. I think we got everything covered here. Andrew, was there anything else you want to add into this before we call it a show?
No, that is good, bro.
All right, cool.
I am gonna let Egypt get a little bit closer. As of right now, they're saying it's safe to travel, but could be high terrorism. How does it say it? Avoid no. Where does it say it? High terrorism threats in mostly tourism areas. So it says to travel there, but so it might be a threat right where you land. Like, come on, that's who's signing up for that one?
It's like, we know the pyramids is a very, very touristy place, but just keep your head on swivel. That's all we're saying. Just make sure we're looking every direction before you go, just in case. If you hear any random noises like clocks or anything like that, any sort of ticking possibly, I would suggest you stop, drop, and cover.
Terrorist attacks could happen anywhere, including places frequently by tourism. All it says, by tourists.
Wow.
What the fuck, dude? That's like, I don't know. We're gonna let it get a little closer.
Sure.
We'll let it get a little closer. Maybe they'll have a deal put in place here soon. But yeah.
And then just so I wanted to get this right. So Brandon Adams is fighting here. He's going to be fighting Kyomin. I can't pronounce his last name, but the guy's undefeated, 18-0. So pretty significant, and it's going to be at 154. So hey, maybe one of these guys, and I think it's an IBF title eliminator, the main event. So maybe the next one is going to get the shot at whoever wins between Fundora and Josh Kelly. I don't know, but anyway, throw that out there.
What fight is this one on? What were you saying right there?
This is the one that I'm the fight that I'm trying to go to this weekend, but the one they're going to have the press conference and the media workout for on Wednesday. Brandon Adams, who beat Bochuk on the Canelo and Crawford undercard, he's fighting this guy here whose names I can't pronounce, but he's undefeated and it's 154. So worth checking out. So yeah, make sure to check us out on Thursday because this is where we're gonna record our midweek show. So that's gonna do it for us. There's anything else you want to add, Andrew? I think we pretty much added everything else. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
In that case, that is going to do it for us on this lovely, nice and cool now Easter Sunday. So once more, happy Easter to everybody who does celebrate it. We will be back on Thursday, so make sure to catch us then. So that's going to do it for my co-host, Andrew. Don't get it twisted, Lapiche. I am Miguel Antonio Barragan, a.k.a. Fight Feed Migs. And this has been the Mad Boxing Show. Thank you so much for joining us once more. We'll see you guys on Thursday. Take care and peace.